Hello everyone, it's Nina and welcome back to my channel. It is about to be the most wonderful time of the year, at least my most wonderful time of the year. No hate to like the summer enjoyers, but I'm so freaking tired of it being so hot out. I need the weather to be at like more manageable temperature so I can actually enjoy being outside again. And overall, I'm just like so excited for fall. So in this video, we are going to be celebrating fall early. Also in general, I like having all of my fall and Halloween decorations out by September 1st. So I can get the most out of them for the season. We're going to be doing a little bit of preparation for fall and resetting for the season in this video. So let's go ahead and talk about the stuff we're going to be doing for this reset. Okay, for my to-do list, the first thing I want to do is I want to get out my fall wardrobe. Like I just mentioned, it is still pretty hot out. So my goal is more so just to like change my color palette into the like oranges, browns, darker colors that I usually wear during the fall time. I also kind of just want to do this as a way to like double check what I have before I decide to go thrifting for anything new. Next thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to get out my Halloween decor and then we're going to decorate my apartment. This also I want to do early so that I can see what I necessarily like need to add to the decorations. Then we are going to be picking out the books for my September TBR. And in addition, I'm going to go to the library and also pick out some like new fall themed movies and shows, as well as some books that I want to add to my TBR. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in this little fall reset video. So with that intro out of the way, let's get right on into it. I thought I'd actually start off by showing two things that I did end up picking up that I knew I didn't have, but I wanted to add to my fall decorations for this season. And they're both kind of like linens, homeware type things. The first thing I wanted is I really wanted a new set of pillow covers for the pillows I usually keep on my couch. I've had a set of like square pillow covers that I got a really long time ago that I just kind of want to switch out, specifically also for like the longer pillow that I always have on my couch. So I ended up getting a set of 2 pumpkin pillow covers from Amazon. Not normally where I would shop. In general, I don't like buying stuff from Amazon if I can avoid it, but obviously most stores only have like full stuffed seasonal pillows and I can't get just pillowcases for them there. So I had to go online to try and find some. And I think these ones are really cute. They did go through the wash and dryer, so the pumpkins are not as like fluffy as they were initially when they came out of the package. But to be honest, I thought they were going to be a lot more of a like punch needle texture instead of this like kind of like faux fur. They actually look really good on camera. They're a little bit brighter and lighter in person, but it does kind of match the tone of orange that I have in my living room carpet pretty well. So I think these are going to be really, really cute. The other thing I had was I really wanted to get some type of fall blanket. I eventually want to make my own fall blanket because I had got a like super discounted piece of fall patterned fleece during the Joann's like going out of business sale. But that is currently in storage at my parents' house. And in the meantime, I did see this blanket from Target that I thought was really, really cute. It's just this tan and cream gingham blanket. It's super, super soft and fluffy. I think this actually might be part of their like back to school college dorm line, but I thought it would look really cute paired with some more like fall colors for decoration in the fall time. And then this kind of like light tan, I feel like I also use in decorating for the spring and summer. So it's kind of like a 3 seasonal blanket. I'm not just going to use it for fall and then put it away. It's currently honestly been sitting on my couch right now in the summertime. So I think it was going to be a really, really cute piece that I'm going to use when decorating for the fall in my living room. That's all I've purchased so far. I honestly don't think I need a lot of fall decor overall. I've done a pretty good job at collecting things over the last like 3 or 4 years that I've decorated for Halloween in our apartment. So I think later on this video, when we go ahead and decorate everything, I'll be able to see any possible gaps of stuff that I might want to get in the future. So one thing that I wanted to do was start to swap into my fall wardrobe. I store my clothes kind of based on the season. So once it starts getting hot out, I take all of my winter clothes and put them away. And while it is still August and is pretty hot here, I do think there's some things on my clothing rack that I want to put away to like swap into a more overall fall color palette. Like pretty much bring out all of my like browns and oranges and put away a lot of my like pastel clothes, since those I primarily wear in the spring and summertime. All of my dresses and tops are stored on the clothing rack behind me. And then down below, I have a smaller shelving unit with all of my pants and skirts. And I'd say like 99% of the stuff in there I wear year round. But starting off, I'm going to go through all of the items on the rack back here and pull out all of the pastel things. And depending on how many items I pull out, will help me decide how many items I'm going to pull out from my fall winter wardrobe that's currently in storage. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. This is another top I recently thrifted this last May, and I think it is so cute. Definitely like a vintage shirt from like maybe like the early 2000s. And it also kind of feels like the spring and summer version of this one autumn embroidered top that I have. And I just think that's really, really cute. I like them being kind of like cousins in that way, but obviously it is a very like spring and summery type design. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away as well. Okay, so I think I've done a pretty good job at sorting through what was on the rack and picking out some stuff that I want to put in storage. I'm gonna take all of the stuff that I just picked out off the hangers, fold it up, and then I'll decide what from my bin of fall clothes I'm going to use the hangers for to like rehang and add onto this wardrobe. And I probably also will do a little bit more reorganizing because I don't have a full like rhyme or reason sorting system for this clothing rack. It's mostly just like dresses on this side and then everything else on this side, but I would like to eventually move it so that all of my like cardigans are in one place, all of my sweaters are in another place, that kind of system, and maybe even like color coordinate it. So we're definitely gonna do that a little bit later on today as well. Oh my God, you guys, I almost had like a full crash out like 10 minutes ago because I could not find one specific top that I really wanted to add to my wardrobe. It wasn't in my fall bin, and then I also looked in my like secondary storage bin, which is just like very, very specific seasonal things like my bathing suits, my like winter hats and scarves, and all of my pajamas. I couldn't find it in either of those, so I was like, where the heck is it? Because it's obviously not on my clothing rack. Turns out I just like hid it from myself. I probably thought like I'm going to want to wear this as soon as the fall season starts. Let me go ahead and get it out early. So I hid it in one of the like baskets I have below this clothing rack. The top I'm talking about is this one. I thrifted this I think like 2 years ago, so last fall season was the first time I wore it, and I love it so much. I feel like it's got this really interesting whimsigoth vibe that I don't usually have in my wardrobe, but it really is just like fall distilled down into like one article of clothing. And I think it's so cute. And obviously I wanted to wear it as soon as fall started. So now that I know I didn't like accidentally donate it or like lose it at my parents' house or something, I can add it back to my wardrobe. This is one of my few like Halloween exclusive pieces. It is from the indie brand Quinoa Monster. I don't know if they still make this shirt, but it actually was a gift from my wife at an anime convention. And it's super cute. It has these like little one-eyed ghosties all over it. In putting away all of my summer clothes, I managed to refill up this bin. Currently, I have all of my like strictly spring and summer hot weather clothes on the bottom. And then it kind of like transitions up into like general pastel clothes that can be worn when it's like a little cooler out. So I have like pretty much all of my pastel sweaters on this side, and then all of the cardigans I pulled off my rack over here. As it gets more into like the transition from winter to spring, I'm going to want to take out some more of my pastel sweaters, so I'll be able to just grab them from the top of this bin. And this is what my clothing rack is looking like so far. There definitely are a couple more summery pieces that I will eventually put away in storage, but I think right now this is a good like transitional into fall wardrobe. I did go ahead and sort this section. I still need to go through and like organize my dresses a little bit more, but I think it looks pretty good so far and definitely has everything I need to start off the fall season. Okay, I thought now we could talk about some of the books I have on my September TBR. I'm just going to go through some of the ones I have on my physical TBR first, but I think a little later on in this video, I'm actually going to go to the library with my wife, and I'll probably pick out some books as well as some like movies and TV shows that will kind of fit the fall vibes to kind of add to the overall collection of media I want to enjoy this fall season. Starting off, let's go through the books I have on my physical TBR. First one I have is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This is one of the limited special editions I got, I think, last year. And I believe this is a like gothic fantasy set at some type of either haunted or like decrepit old house. To be honest, I don't actually know much more about it besides that. But I mentioned in the previous video, I was kind of in the mood for a like weird house book, so I hope that this will fit the bill. The next book I have on my TBR is Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. This is the third and final book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy, which is a set of YA, enemies to lovers, witch x witch hunter fantasy romances. This book is really, really thick. I don't know if it's also because of the fact that it's like a YA paperback, so it's kind of short. But yeah, it's a pretty long book. I think it's like slightly over 600 pages. My overall excitement for this book has slightly waned because I wasn't the biggest fan of the second book in the series. I really, really liked the first one. I thought it was a really, really strong debut. And I really, really liked the arcs and like characters as they were established in the first book. But some crazy stuff happened over the course of this book that makes me a little like apprehensive for where the story is going to go overall. At the same time, I am pretty intrigued considering the like pretty big cliffhanger we left off on. But I do really like the characters and the writing style, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy this one. The next book I have after that is The Tale of the Body Thief by Anne Rice. This is the fourth book in the Vampire Chronicles series. I've kind of set it up for myself where I need to read a Vampire Chronicles book at least once a year, and this is the next one I have. It's also the first one of the series that I have not yet read because the original 3 books I had read back in like high school. So I'm super excited to get into this one. I've heard it's a very different vibe than the first 3. Much more of a like urban fantasy, with the plot line being that Lestat ends up like swapping bodies with this guy, hence the title, The Tale of the Body Thief. I am very excited to read this book and see what it's like, and just overall I need more Interview with the Vampire content in my life as I wait out the hiatus period until the 3rd season of the TV show comes out next year. So very excited to check this one out. Okay, and the last books I have for my physical TBR, I'm not sure if both these are going to get read in September. I might do one in September and then one in October. But I have The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne, both by Holly Black. This is a spin-off duology to the Folk of the Air series, and it follows Jude's younger brother Oak and his relationship with Surin, who is the queen of the Court of Teeth. I'm super excited to check these ones out. I've been having the hold for the audiobooks come up on my Libby app like time and time again, and I've kind of just continually snoozed it into the future. But I feel like the fall time is like the perfect season to be reading these books. I'm also super, super excited to eventually get to Prisoner's Throne because when it switches to Oak's POV, the audiobook is narrated by our personal friend Barrett Letty, and I'm super excited to see what he's like as Oak. I do really enjoy the original Folk of the Air series, so I'm very intrigued to see what I think about these ones. So here's a look at the books I have on my physical TBR that I'm going to hopefully read in September. In addition to them, I'll probably find a couple different books to pick out from the library. I also want to really quickly mention 2 movies that are coming out in September that we're hopefully going to be able to go see in theaters. The first one is The Long Walk. This is an adaptation of, I believe, Stephen King's very first novel, and this one comes out on September 12th. I've never read a Stephen King book. I've never read the book that this is also adapted from, but I just randomly saw the trailer recommended to me, and it seemed really interesting. It's definitely got a very strong Hunger Games vibe, which I think makes sense because I'm pretty sure the director is the same person that did Catching Fire as well as the Mockingjay movies. So definitely going to try and check this one out if I can find a theater near me playing it. The other movie I wanted to talk about is one we were so excited to see, and that is Him, which is directed by Justin Tipping, but somewhat more importantly, it's produced by Jordan Peele. And this is a sports-themed horror movie. A lot of people have been saying it's basically like the male version of Black Swan, at least in the overall vibe it's giving from the trailers. This is another one I just kind of like randomly saw as a trailer on YouTube and thought it looked so interesting. I think the new, more like detailed trailer they released is good, but I think the original teaser trailer is so perfect with basically like the tonal shift that it goes through. I think like one of the top comments on that video is like, I love that the first 30 seconds of this trailer makes it look like a Gatorade commercial, because it really does. And it honestly like sets the tone of the movie overall so well. I'm really, really excited to see this one. And this one is coming out on September 19th. So yeah, those are the two like new movies I'm hoping to check out. In addition, when we go to the library, I'm definitely gonna look through their DVD selection and see what other movies I want to watch. Actually, another DVD that we already have out from the library is the second season of Interview with the Vampire, which I definitely need to do a rewatch of. I feel like the episodes in the first season I watched a lot of, specifically the pilot. I feel like that is like one of the most perfect pilots I've ever seen. But the second one, I definitely need to watch again, just in general, and also to like refresh myself on everything that happened in it before the third season comes out next year. So yeah, that's a quick look at some of the stuff I'm interested in checking out in September. We are going to go to the library, and I'll probably come back with a little haul of everything we get from there. Okay, I have to show you something I recently got at the grocery store, which feels very appropriate for the start of the season. If you watched, I think, a New York vlog I did a couple months ago, I became obsessed with the strawberry mocha La Colombe like iced coffees, but those were like a limited edition flavor. I'm pretty sure I had like 4 on that trip, and me and my sibling-in-law's roommate Abby were pretty much eating every like bodega in Brooklyn out of house and home trying to get them. But those were a limited edition flavor just for the springtime. And now for the start of the fall season, they've actually come out with a pumpkin spice one. So I thought we could go ahead and try it together. I did have to go to like a regular grocery store for this. I usually do all my grocery shopping at Aldi, but luckily I was able to find like a bigger grocery chain that had them. So I went ahead and got a couple. So let's go ahead and open this up and try it out. Ooh, yeah, this is pretty good. I really like the flavor of La Colombe's base coffee already. It's really smooth and has like a good kind of like fruity, nutty flavor. It doesn't taste as like acrid as like Starbucks coffee is. And then the addition of the pumpkin spice is really nice. Very much like a very classic pumpkin spice flavor. These are really good. I can already fear that I'm going to have to get more of them in the future. Okay, to leave off this video, I thought I would go ahead and show you the books that I did end up picking up from the library to add to my TBR. The first one of those is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is the third and final book in the Emily Wilde trilogy. I've read each of the books as they've come out the last 2 years previously. This one, I believe, came out in either January or February of this year, and it's taken me a much longer period of time than I have with the other 2 books to finally pick it up. But I figured this book is a really good fall time book with the emphasis on like nature. The other 2 books previously also were set in a very like snowy landscape. So I feel like this will be a really good transition book as we get into the winter time. The other book I picked up from the library is not really one that's particularly fall-timey, but it is one that has been on my TBR to check out. And that is The Sun-Blessed Prince by Lindsay Beard. This is a queer fantasy romance where I believe the main character is like a prince that has like necromancy powers. For some reason, this book is like absolutely massive. It's like the same size as this hardcover book, which I feel like paperbacks are not usually this tall. So I was a little bit surprised when I found it on the shelves. However, I'm really excited to check this out. I need to get into more queer fantasy romance. I feel like I'm so used to my normal genre of queer historical romance that I haven't really branched out from that in a little while. But this seems like just the type of book that I already am interested in, like the plot and like setup and some of like the character dynamics. I already love a character who's like a necromancer. So I'm interested in seeing what this one is like. So with that all said and done, we're now at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as I got everything set up in my life for the fall time. I am so excited for the fall to come. As of this recording, we're at like the very end of August, so the transition is like right around the corner. I've already started to see a lot of like fall decorations and fall foods like coming back onto the shelves, and I'm just super excited to start embracing the season as soon as September rolls around. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, or subscribing if you aren't already. I'll definitely be doing more fall vlogs as we get deeper into the coming months. So hopefully you guys want to stick around to check out those videos. As always, as well, you can find my Bookstagram as well as my Storygraph, which are linked in the description if you'd like to see more of my reading updates. And that is going to be it for me today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!